Hey everybody, welcome back to the Real Estate Machine Show. I'm your host, Chris Matan. Thank you so much for joining me. This very, very special edition. I've got a good old friend of mine, Keith Terry, out of Chicago, Illinois. And I want to introduce you to Keith. Keith is one of my new business partners within eXp Realty. Very excited to have him on board. Keith, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Hey, Matan, how are you? Thanks
Doing
for having me on.
Yeah, man, this is exciting. This is exciting news. I got my hat going and everything.
Yeah, see.
And I got to represent. But I wanted to share. I wanted to share with the audience. Hopefully, we're going to generate some good clicks on this episode. But I wanted to introduce you as a new eXp agent. Joined us. Let's call it about 2 weeks ago, give or take. And
Yeah, about a month. Yeah.
it's been about a month. Okay.
Yeah, coming up. Actually, a month about this week. Yep.
Excellent, excellent. And so tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What are you doing? Why'd you get into the business? How long have you been in the business? All that good stuff.
Well, Matan, it goes back. You and I met at Oakton College back when we were in our 20s.
Long time ago.
Right. Well, that was just around the corner. But we met then, and I've been in real estate. Tried a few different companies. I did the Century 21, did the ERA. So I did the franchise. Only one I really didn't do was the Kellers and Williams and the Remax. But what I found, I ended up opening up my own agency, Terry & Associates Properties. Had a few agents here and there. But what I found in my travels is that real estate is you. I mean, when I say that, I mean, people hire you. They didn't care if I was with Bozo the Clown Realty. All they wanted to know was, can you sell my house and what for? So what amount? So I ended up opening up my own agency and did things for a while. Did not like the being a managing broker.
What year was that? When did you open up the agency, Keith?
Well, because I got tired of just giving, when I was working with agency, they were at a 50-50 split. Then when you did everything, you came out with maybe 30 or 40. And then I just didn't need an agency behind me.
Yeah. When was that? What year?
You know what, Matan? That had to be over 10 or 11 years ago.
Okay.
I don't really remember the year that I exited with the franchise, but it's been over 10 or 11 years that I've been on my own.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that was pretty much it. Then I get a call from you. And actually, I told you, a gentleman had called me about eXp. And I really didn't want to hear it. You know what I mean? I'm like, here it is, another.
Yeah.
Another franchise. I had seen eXp, really didn't know what their business model was like, but I just do remember the name. And then I got a phone call from you, and I remember you did well when you're in Chicago. You were always involved in different avenues of real estate. So I respected, your opinion, and you told me to take a look at eXp, in which I did. And I tossed it around. I picked it up, flipped it over, you know what I mean, wrung it out. And I really couldn't see me not joining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was something that I said I had to do from the aspect of stock ownership. What's the other one where when you bring someone?
Revenue share.
Revenue share. The networking, like you and I talked about the quantitative aspect of it. I just couldn't see, I had to do it. And it's taken a lot, once you get on board, it actually took a lot of responsibility off of me. I'm trying to get some of my agents to come on board. Well, they have to now come on board with eXp.
Mm-hmm.
So, that way I can focus on selling real estate.
Yeah, that's kind of the big idea. That's what I kind of really see. I had my own shop when I was back in Chicago for a lot of years, and I didn't really get too involved. I had an agent or two along the way, but the worst part about the, owning your own shop or owning your own brokerage is that compliance and that responsibility and the,
Yeah.
all that stuff that you got to deal with, with the state and, making sure all your ducks are in a row and stuff like that, the audits and whatnot. So to relieve yourself and to relieve these independent brokers like you and I were, of that liability and compliance, I think is huge. And, for a small amount of money that you really give away, the E&O insurance that you don't have to be responsible for, in any great fashion. The E&O insurance is, on a per deal basis with I think it's a $500 max per year, which is nothing compared to what you and I used to pay in E&O insurance to an insurance company. So
Exactly.
there's a lot of those things that, there's an ego thing too. Your company is called Terry and Associates. My company was called Matan Enterprises. And, you spent a lot of years building up that name and building up that brand. And, nobody wants to give up on that stuff. And, but if you really look at the big picture on how eXp, figured it out and kind of models it, that you don't have to give up that brand and you are actually enhancing the brand by getting powered by eXp and, tapping into all of the resource that they have at scale. And it really does benefit to the agents that, are within your brokerage in the long term, because now you can really focus on, instead of focusing on administrative and paperwork and all that junk that nobody likes doing, now you can really pour your heart into your agents and help grow them and grow their businesses, whichever way you end up structuring it. But, it really becomes a situation where you feel a lot more aligned with the people that you're working with. And I feel, it goes to show you, I mean, I've known you 26 years. We used to work together, probably 20 years ago or more. And
Right. And Lebovic.
Yeah, exactly. Lebovic Realty, independent. Lebovic Realty, if any of you Chicago people are watching this video, a lot of you may remember that company in Lincolnwood, Illinois. And that was a major player, an independent. Back in the 90s, everybody was independent. The franchises were, few and far between. And, those independent offices, would look at this today, look at the eXp model today and just, just go, wow. I can only imagine what the managers and the ownership of those independent companies would look at today. So it's pretty cool. I still stay in touch with a lot of those guys from those days.
And then Lebovic, they went ERA.
Yeah, they went ERA, and then they kind of changed the name into I think it was Prudential or something like that, or Preferred. Prudential Preferred, and then Preferred. And yeah, I mean, this business, a lot of things change and a lot of things stay the same. And, a lot of times you're constantly trying to evolve and, solve problems and solve issues and make things better, build a better mousetrap, become more efficient, whatever you got to do to compete. And, I think that eXp has really solved a lot of those problems that people were finding within the traditional brokerage model, and it's really turning it
Absolutely
upside down. And you and I are great. We're fortunate. I joined last September, so in a month, it's going to be a couple of weeks, will be my 1-year anniversary. There was 19,000 agents when I joined, and
now 32.
Yeah, I looked at it, I think, in January of last year, and I don't even think there was 15,000. I don't even know where they were at in January. But today, I think they're over 32,000 agents and opening up countries. They're opening up countries while the whole world is on lockdown. I mean, it's incredible how you can do this. And, it's really starting to turn a lot of heads, and it's becoming a valid player in the industry, and it's making our jobs as telling the story of eXp and attracting other agents makes our job a lot easier, makes our job a ton easier. So I think that we're in a great position to grow together, and I'm excited to do it.
I do.
Yeah. So what kind of business do you do right now, Keith? Like, are you residential or you do commercial also? Tell us about some of the deals you're working on.
Well, I'm doing some commercial deals. I have some commercial listings. I dealt primarily with residential. So, but I do have some commercial. But again, it's primary residential.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. So listen, if there was one thing that you would tell the audience and tell the thing that was the major, tipping point, if you will, on what compelled you to take Terry and Associates over to eXp, what would be that one major,
Outside of you?
besides me, of course, besides me.
Outside of you. All right. What compelled me is the business model. I looked on YouTube. Can't think of the gentleman's name now. There was quite a few that were giving presentations on YouTube. I looked at the YouTube channels that they were giving presentations on, and I looked at a lot of them had companies that were way bigger than mine and yours. Yep. And they closed the doors and came on over to eXp. And I looked at the reasons, and a lot of them had the similar similar reasons that they came over, like what I had. They were tired of being a managing broker. Some of them had 200-300 agents, and they still saw the value in going over with eXp.
Yeah.
So that was a major contributing factor.
Yeah. And it's interesting, and a lot of people, they got to do their due diligence and they got to do their research and, know what they're getting into. But I do think that, there is a breed of people out there, myself, yourself included, that kind of look at something and, just get a gut feeling and just know that it's right. I knew after the first video I saw, I couldn't sleep for like a week. I was watching all these videos. And, I knew then and there that this was something special, and that I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't join immediately. It took me a few months. I went through a revamp office in the meantime. So, it wasn't something that I jumped into, but in my head and in my heart, I knew that this was, a pretty special opportunity. And after presenting it to you and how you just got it and it clicked with you, that kind of validated the way that I feel, that there are people out there that, and there's, it's hard. It's a hard decision to make. And it's like, what do I do? I'm comfortable here, being comfortable and being loyal to your company where you've been, for a year or 10 years or 30 years is great. But listen, you got to look at number one, you got to look at yourself, you got to look at your family and what's the best for your family. And the long term, what's your exit strategy? eXp, that's another thing that's eXp solved for real estate agents in general. Is it gave them some ownership. It gave them an exit strategy. It gave them an opportunity for additional pillars of income instead of just relying on sales. So, like I said, I'm very excited to be a part of being in business with you, my man.
Likewise.
And, we're going to start hitting it. So anybody on this call that is interested in hearing more about eXp, please feel free to contact myself or Keith. Keith, what's the best way somebody can get a hold of you if they wanted to?
You can email me at Terry at Talk to Terry First, Gmail. I'm sorry. Yeah. Talk to Terry First at gmail.com. TALK, the number 2, Terry, FIRST at gmail.com.
Talk to Terry First at gmail.com. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, listen, we're going to leave you. Keith, thanks so much for joining me. I think that this is going to be it may be the second best Real Estate Machine Show episode. I got to keep my old man at the top there still. That was a powerful episode. But this was a great one. Yeah, well, talk to me.
Well, Matan, what a better email, I have to get used to eXp. Is my eXp email.
Good idea. What's that one?
Yeah, Keith.Terry at eXp.com. Am I saying that right?
Keith.Terry, TERRY, at eXpRealty.com.
That is correct.
That's the one. Awesome.
That's the one you can contact me at. I just have to get used to using that one now. I'm so used to my other one, but either one works. But that one we know.
Very good.
It's going to be the best way to contact me.
Very good, my man. Well, listen, all the best. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Say hi to your family for me. And
you do the same.
We're going to catch up soon, okay? Thank you, everybody, for joining us today, and we will see you next time.